Hello my friends. Well, this video is kind of what's going on with the van in terms of what I like. One thing is the backup camera. The 2017 I think is the last model year where they have the backup camera just above the license plate, and I actually in some ways prefer it higher. I thought that might be kind of like a check in the cons box in terms of buying a 2017 versus a 2018 or 2019. But I find the backup camera is fine the way it is. And you know, in the very fancy models you get the screen and they have it like it's like a 6-inch by 4-inch screen, whatever, and you have this nice screen you can look at as you're backing up. But in mine they don't have that. It just has the thing in the mirror. And that's fine, honestly. It's no big deal. I'm not put out by it at all. I mean, that's there's Sync 3, I think they call it. It is a huge markup. In Canada, I think it's like $2,000 or more to have this fancy Sync 3. And I've heard a fair amount of people actually complain about the Sync 3, that it tells you stuff about your phone all the time. Your phone is connected, your phone is unconnected, and you're like, people get annoyed by that. Anyway, it's just another thing to break. I mean, if I plan to have this van for 20 years and that screen, you really think it's gonna last 20 years? I don't. No way, man. So it's better to keep it simple. I do really like the power windows. Not such a fan of power door locks, but the power windows come with the locks. So that's the way she goes. One thing that I like about this van is it gives you a countdown of how many kilometers you have left until you're out of gas. I really like that. By the way, my previous van was an American van, so everything was in miles. I really like it that is back on kilometers. It's a minor thing, but it makes a difference. You can see that the steering wheel is very plain, and this is not one of the fancy ones with all those gadgets and doodads, but this steering wheel is quite comfortable. I like it. I like this little pad under your hand as you drive. One thing that's interesting is that my Chevy Express, the lights are always on, and you have to actually turn it off to shut the automatic lights off. Whereas this van, you actually have to turn them on. I thought in Canada there was a law that new cars had to have the lights always on, but yeah, that's something. This is a nice feature. I like this. You can adjust the mirrors. The Express doesn't have this. My 2012 Express doesn't have this. You can adjust the mirrors without really having to move around. You just do it from there. And this gear shift thing is kind of weird. It's okay. I actually prefer the one, you know, on the steering wheel column. One thing I don't like, and I don't know what to do about, is that this, I'm 99% sure, is leather. And as a vegan, that drives me absolutely bananas. Because I don't like leather. I don't want to have a piece of animal skin in my van. To me, it's morally objectionable. So what do? Just get over it? Cut it off? Try to put some vinyl on there? I don't know. It drives me nuts. The features are fairly limited. It's got this, you know, circulate AC. One thing I don't like is that the radio buttons are, I mean, I'm not a small guy, and I have to reach quite far over to change the radio stations. On my Express, it's a lot closer. I can just go bing bong bing. And yeah. Anyway, it's adequate. The stereo is not very good. It's not the greatest. It's not absolutely horrible, but my Express, the stereo is definitely better. And by the way, up here I have this 10, I can't even remember how much it is. It's either 10 watts or 15 watts. Let's see what this says. 96% conversion efficiency. I don't remember, it doesn't say. It's a solar charger, but it doesn't say how many watts it was. I guess I could look. Anyway, I've had that on my dash now for a few days, and it's charging I have this big battery thing, 13,000 milliamp batteries, and I just leave it on there. I've had this for like 4 years, and this is the first time I'm using it. I was going to sell it, but then I thought, you know what, I kind of need it right now, so. The number one thing I don't like about this van is the height of the brake pedal. It's like probably 3 inches, about 3 inches higher than the gas pedal. Now it's not so bad with these shoes, but the shoes I was wearing yesterday, they're kind of like sandals. I was having it was difficult. Today it's not as bad, but if you're a person who has like small feet, I think this would be harder. Like maybe if you're a woman and you have small feet or something, this might be harder. I'm not a small person. I'm like 6 feet tall, but I do have my shoes are like size 9, 8.5 something. So, yeah. So this is going to require an adjustment. Not a big fan of this. You can feel a tightness in my shin here, or you could lift it a bit, but. Bit awkward, gotta be honest. That's the thing I like the least. Another thing is this ridge. It's not that bad, but it's not the greatest. And this stuff is really slippery. I'm gonna buy some grip tape, and I'm gonna cover this thing because I often go into the back through here. Another con is the width between these seats is 11 inches. So I have to show you here. So from there to there is 11 inches. Now I'm thinking I may even remove this passenger armrest. Do I really want to do that to my brand new van? No. But I may do that down the road sometime. Another kind of a con is the craziness of these double wall vans. I'm gonna have to somehow insulate all this, and I knew about this in my research. I knew that it was going to be problematic, but like the ProMasters is like straight. I think even the Sprinters are a bit better than this, but so there's a couple things I don't like. I love the fact that this van came with this it's kind of like, I don't know what they call this. It's a upgraded package with the walls. But I'm gonna try to like I already took this piece off to see the insulation. I took this piece off already to try to, oopsies, should try to see what's going on back there. So what I'm gonna do is once it's all insulated, I'm gonna put these back. So this is all going to be a cabinet from about there to there. So about a foot off the roof and a foot away from the wall. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it, but so I can just use this stuff. It's going to be behind inside the cabinets anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. So what I'm going to probably do, actually, what I am going to do is I'm going to leave these panels under the bed. My bed is going to be about 18 inches off the floor, maybe a bit more. I'm not sure how much I can get away with, but as much as I can to make it comfortable, but to maximize storage. But then I can use this stuff under the bed, and that way only pay for the fancy cedar wood from here to here. The rest is all going to be covered up with cabinets and stuff anyway, so well, that is the plan. But I love how big this thing is. I was pleasantly surprised to find out that between the back of the seat and all the way to the end of the door is 11 feet. That's huge. I don't ever going to need a bigger area than this. This is fine. Another thing I'm not super keen about is I might have to use up some of that space because I'm trying to dial in the right seat comfort. But yeah, I might have to make this go back a bit so that I can be comfortable while I'm driving. If I lose like 3 or 4 inches of interior space, then big whoop since I got 11 feet. I don't know what to do with this thing. Am I going to leave it in there or take it out? I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is to control the amount of vibration noise that this thing has. There's one on each side. So I don't know if I should leave it in or remove it. It would be a bit tricky to build around. There's a lot of curves in this van. Curves, curves, curves. So from this wall to this wall, at about this point, so about 3 feet off the floor, is 68 inches all the way to this plastic stuff. At the wheel wells, it's 69 inches. So you might squeeze in some more space lengthwise if you took this out, but I plan to insulate all that anyway. So my bed is going to be from there to there lengthwise. And then I'm going to have a couch about 20 inches, maybe 18 inches wide going down here. Then my kitchen counter, kitchen thing is going to be right here. And then this is all going to be open. I want as open feeling van as possible. So the color scheme I'm going to go for this is cedar, black, and I'm going to try to use copper for some accents. Black is my favorite color. You probably notice I wear a lot of black. I know it kind of makes the van dark, but the cedar offsets that, and I love the warm look of the cedar. Anyway, there's a few things about the Transit that I've noticed in the short time that I've had it, in terms of as a vehicle to drive and in terms of as a van to build out for as a camper van. Thanks for watching, and be well, my friends.